Okay, let's jump right into this explainer today. We're going to pull back the curtain on that bustling sunrise coffee shop dream and figure out how the economics actually work. I mean, we see these cafes on literally every corner, but today, we're breaking this business down exactly the way experienced investors do.
Look, we all know the romantic vision, right? The gentle hum of the espresso machine firing up before dawn, the loyal regulars who know your name, and that line out the door making it look like the absolute perfect, highly profitable lifestyle business. It kind of feels like a guaranteed success. I mean, coffee is one of the most consumed beverages on the entire planet. But what we see on social media completely ignores the gritty reality hiding just out of frame. Those inspirational posts promising passive income and total financial freedom, yeah, they conveniently forget to show you the reality of employees calling in sick on your busiest weekend, or the rising costs of coffee beans and milk, or the sudden, absolute panic of a commercial espresso machine breaking down without warning. Real life, it's often a daily battle with razor-thin margins. So the big question we really need to investigate today is this. Just because a coffee shop is packed, does that actually mean it's making money? Because, actually, selling hundreds of cups of coffee and having every single table occupied absolutely does not guarantee financial success. It definitely doesn't mean the owner is getting wealthy. Section 1. Choosing your business model. Because not all coffee shops are the same.
Before we even think about crunching the numbers, we have to recognize the biggest mistake beginners make. They assume all coffee shops operate with the exact same financial heartbeat. But two cafes on the very same block can have wildly different outcomes. A cozy neighborhood spot relies on high loyalty, predictable, daily returning regulars who might hang out for hours. Meanwhile, a drive-through model, that relies entirely on high speed and volume, serving commuters who want their drink in like under 2 minutes. And then you have premium city center cafes, where customers are paying top dollar for the brand and the experience. You have to know exactly which game you're playing.
Section 2. The true startup costs. What happens before the first bean is even ground?
You might be thinking, okay, I just need first month's rent and an espresso machine, right? Not quite. These hidden costs will quietly drain your budget before day one. You need a high visibility location, which costs a premium. Then most commercial spaces need massive renovations. I'm talking plumbing, electrical, flooring, just to be functional. Add in heavy-duty commercial espresso machines built to crank out hundreds of drinks a day, your entire initial inventory, right down to the napkins, and paying staff salaries for training before you've even made a single sale. When you tally all of that up, a realistic startup cost lands squarely between $100,000 and $300,000. And remember, that's just a baseline. If you want a premium location, you're looking at way more. Plus, that doesn't even factor in the cash reserves you absolutely must have on hand to survive those slow first few months when unexpected expenses pop up out of nowhere. Section 3. Revenue versus the gauntlet of expenses. Let's see how the pie gets sliced. Successful shops maximize their daily sales by focusing heavily on something called average order value. Basically, they master the art of the upsell. Say a customer walks in for a $5 latte. Your well-trained barista smiles and suggests a fresh $3 croissant. Boom! Just like that, a $5 visit turns into an $8 sale. That is a massive 60% increase on a single transaction, and you didn't have to spend a dime on marketing to get it. Multiply that out. If you consistently serve 200 customers a day and keep that $8 average order value, your gross revenue could hit a staggering $48,000 a month. It is so easy to look at that number and think the owner is just raking it in. But wait, here is the twist. Revenue is not profit. Watch how fast that 48 grand disappears. Your landlord takes 10,000 for rent. Your team takes 15,000 in wages. Suppliers, they need 12,000 for beans, milk, and cups. Utilities and maintenance take another 5,000. By the time everyone else takes their massive slice of the pie, the owner is left with a surprisingly thin sliver. We're often talking a net profit of just $5,000 to $8,000 for the whole month. Section 4. Calculating the real profit. The long road to ROI. Let's ground this in reality for a second. Imagine you put down $200,000 on opening day. Even if you hit the jackpot and manage a highly consistent, healthy $6,000 monthly net profit right out of the gate, which, by the way, is incredibly rare, you are still looking at nearly 3 full years just to recover your original investment. You are literally working for 3 whole years just to break even. And staying profitable, it's a daily battle against these silent killers. Food and inventory waste, like tossing out expired milk or pastries that didn't sell, that quietly eats your cash. Over-relying on the morning rush means you're paying staff to just stand around an empty cafe all afternoon. A sudden equipment failure means thousands in repairs and lost sales. Plus, you have zero control over global inflation hiking up coffee bean prices. Any single one of these can completely obliterate your thin profit margin for the month.
Section 5. The secret metric, the actual lifeblood of the business. This brings us to the single, secret metric we teased a little earlier. The one number that absolutely determines whether a coffee shop thrives or dies. It's not your Instagram following. It is definitely not your beautiful aesthetic decor. It's your average daily customers, the exact number of paying customers who walk through your doors every single day. This one metric dictates your cash flow, your ability to hire good staff, your marketing budget, and ultimately your long-term survival. Let's look at how this plays out in the real world. Imagine Cafe A and Cafe B. They serve the exact same coffee, but Cafe A only sees 80 customers a day, while Cafe B sees 250. Because Cafe B has massive daily foot traffic, they can easily spread their fixed overhead costs, like rent and insurance, across hundreds of sales. Cafe A is getting completely crushed by those exact same fixed costs. Cafe B just has an unbeatable financial advantage purely based on foot traffic, which is exactly why smart investors will spend weeks analyzing a location before signing a lease. Section 6. Is it actually worth it? The final verdict. So, after breaking down the startup sticker shock, the ruthless monthly expenses, and the daily grind of equipment failures and waste, we gotta ask, is it actually worth it? Well, for the right entrepreneur, absolutely. It can be a brilliant investment, but you have to understand this one crucial thing. A coffee shop isn't really in the coffee business. It is in the people business. The coffee might get someone in the door on day one, but success comes from controlling your costs, picking a killer location, and building an experience that makes that customer want to come back 5 days a week, for years. That customer loyalty, that's your most valuable asset. Passion might be enough to get you to sign the lease and open the doors, but I want to leave you with this provocative thought to chew on before you invest your life savings. Are you opening a coffee shop just because you love the romantic idea of it, or because you've carefully, ruthlessly studied the numbers? Because at the end of the day, only smart business decisions will keep those doors open. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep questioning the economics behind the everyday businesses around you.